All right, shalom, shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash, giving double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who taught me this truth. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men and women who follow. This is Brother Kratazah from the Fountain of Living Waters coming back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. This lesson being entitled Earthquakes and Diverse Places. All right, the Yellowstone super volcano. All right, so I have a number of videos here, and what is going to be an edifying video. Um, a lot of it is kind of saying the same things, but in a different way. So, if you haven't heard, there's a lot of earthquake activity, a lot of seismic activity going on around the world. So I mean, this isn't all about Yellowstone. We're gonna just get into it, and like I said, Lord's word is edifying. So let's play this first video, which is the basis of what we're going into.
This is a little scary. So I've started to see a lot of videos about Yellowstone. Yellowstone National Park sits on one of the largest active volcanoes in the world. Well, over the past few weeks, all the animals have started to evacuate Yellowstone. Go look it up. First, they had mountain lions leaving, in a pack. Then they had all the bears, grizzly bears, which are solitary animals, are leaving in packs. No one's ever seen this. Then herds of buffalo are running down the road, trying to get the fuck out of Yellowstone. Then this morning I saw a fucking herd of elk is leaving Yellowstone. Animals know when shit's about to go down. I just started thinking about that movie 2012. I feel like every time I turn on my phone, it's like, is today the day? Floods, volcanoes, wars, what the fuck is gonna happen next? I'm ready to turn this motherfucker off for a while.
It's crazy. So let's get a quick scripture real quick. It's 2 Ezra 5:8. It says, there should be confusion also in many places, and there should be and the fire should be and the fire shall be off sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and minstrous women shall bring forth monsters. Right. So the wild beasts shall change their places, fire being off sent out again. Now the fire could definitely be talking about the missiles. It could be talking about, earthquakes in diverse places. As a matter of fact, let's just grab that real quick since we're here. Matthew 24:7, it says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Well, as the man said, Yellowstone National Park is sitting on a volcano, and we're going to go into the components of a volcano that make up a volcano, and but to get back to the point, that fire offset could be speaking about a volcano, or just eruption, just dealing with the earth as well. But the wild beasts changing their places, that could be for many different reasons. This is definitely one of the reasons. You've seen all the animals leaving. I believe I got another video here. Yeah, here we go.
Can't really cross the road, but look at that. How cool is that? I don't even think that has a name. It just doesn't do anything normally until today.
Stone Park got the bears acting unusual, y'all. There's a video going around of the bears leaving the Yellowstone National Park, y'all. I have never seen anything like this, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all the video, and y'all let me know down below in the comments. Have y'all seen anything like this before? And I'm hearing it's not just the bears, y'all. Even the mountain lions are getting up, packing their bags, and getting on. Something ain't right, y'all.
Right. So, I mean, you've seen, this right here, which is it's called a geyser. If you're familiar with Old Faithful, You so let me just going to explain what's happening here. So under the ground, there's a pressurized cavern, all right, where water collects, and the heated rocks or the lava underneath the ground heats it up, and then it explodes, through a small hole, right? And it vaporizes, and you get pressure. So that's what proves that it's volcanic activity. Of course, the geysers, the different hot springs, things like that, all over the Yellowstone area shows that it's active. So now when you see the animals running, you know, the ground moving. Let's see if we can. I know we got one of these videos here. Should have put these in a better order. Here we go. All right, we watched that one, so we're gonna put that one back over here.
The Earth is getting ready for something massive. Let's get into it. It's just ridiculous what's going on. These people caught a video of the freaking Earth opening up right in front of them. And they're not happy about it, as you hear. But did you know that another volcano has just erupted while this is happening? Not Etna, it's not Japan, it's literally one in Guatemala. What in the world? There's a lot of preparedness stuff going on, a bunch of evacuations happening with citizens. A couple days ago, I pointed out the Ring of Fire, how active and crazy it was. And people had the nerve to tell me, oh, that's normal. I also showed you a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, that the electrons, there was so much electric in the air on.
Yeah, so this is the video I was looking for, but that's not really explaining what I wanted to explain. It is, but it's not. Let me see this one.
Are y'all seeing what just happened at Yellowstone? Me and a few other accounts have been trying to warn you guys of a series of unfortunate events coming. Back 1 second. So geysers at Yellowstone are acting very, very abnormal. I wonder why that could be. I'm sure it's a combination of a lot of things, like the Earth's inner core rotation has begun moving backward. They say these things because they know history repeats itself and we're about to see some stuff. I have a bunch of related information coming, but do y'all remember when I showed you my cat's eye literally showing an explosion in a smoke ring? Do you remember that? There was someone in the car.
Nobody cares about the cat, bro. But just seeing this explosion shows the amount of force and power that's underneath Yellowstone right now. Let's keep going. Let's categorize this video back there. All right, we're gonna throw that one forward. All right, so all right, we're just getting to this portion. So if you're familiar with Mount St. Helens erupted in 1980.
21 remarkable photos.
So I'm gonna play this at the beginning.
45 years ago.
Before we play the video, Mount St. Helens was known as the Mount Fiji of the United States. This is Mount Fiji, all right, in Japan. It looks like a perfect volcano, right? And Mount St. Helens was also, just like a perfect volcano. But let's just check out the aftermath. So when you see it, this is what it looks like now. That's what it used to look like, and that's what it looks like now. It was just a big crater. So in the coming weeks, before the mountain blew, all right, before the volcano erupted, on the north side, a bulge grew. So Imagine, just this straight up mountain, and then like a 450-foot bulge, almost like a titty popping out of the mountain, with lava. That's what happened. All right, so let's watch the video now.
So Mount St. Helens erupted in a massive explosion, capturing the attention of the world. Photographer Gary Rosenquist documented the event in 21 remarkable photos, which have now been brought to life through AI technology. The eruption was a devastating natural disaster, claiming lives, flattening forests, and reshaping the landscape. However, Mount St. Helens has since begun to recover, serving as a reminder of Earth's power and resilience. Despite losing 1,300 feet in height, the mountain has gained a popular hiking destination, showcasing its remarkable transformation. 45 years ago, Mount St. Helens erupted in a massive explosion.
So what happened, there was a landslide, and then, kablooey. But just wanted to visit Mount St. Helens just to show that, like I said, it moved. The actual mountain moved. That volcanic pressure will move the land, and that's what's going on in Yellowstone right now. A lot of earthquakes, a lot of different seismic activity. All right, which could cause something to go kablooey. Matter of fact, 1 second, we'll just hold the video real quick. All right, so just to get back to the point, like, why is this even irrelevant? Why is it relevant? Because this is a sign. These are Matthew 24:8. All these are the beginning of sorrows, right? This is evidence that time is getting close. This seismic activity. So let's check out this video.
Videos to share with you guys about Yellowstone. But answer me this. Is Yellowstone supposed to look like this right now, y'all? All this geothermal activity, is it supposed to look like this, y'all? You're going to want to turn the volume up for this over here. Now, there's this guy posting clips around Yellowstone of the ground literally groaning, y'all. Like giant marching ants are underground, like they're coming up, y'all. Check this out. Y'all hear that? It literally sounds like a helicopter, y'all. Something's boiling under there. It's a heartbeat. That's not all, y'all. He says he can feel it in his bones, in his spine. It sounds like the animals are running. And just to prove to you that it's gotten more intense over time, he puts a water bottle on the grass, and this thing is jumping around like it's at a kid and play party. That's crazy, y'all. Listen. Y'all, the animals were warning us. Y'all remember those eggs they found in the water near Volcano where it sounds like they hatched? But the shift is here, y'all. Let me know what you guys think about this video.
So this is the video I was looking for, just showing that the ground is moving as being compared to Mount St. Helens, who, like I said, grew that big bulge, as that volcanic, the lava, made its way to the surface. So, I don't know. They say if it blows, it's going to be really bad for everybody. But only Yahweh Shai knows that. I'm just reporting the news. We know in part, we prophesy in part. So this is just some other volcanic activity, which, well, like I said, volcanic activity is associated with earthquakes. Let me see. I don't know where I was at. There we go. So we'll move this right here. So a volcanic mountain, what you'll have one of these tectonic plates that the earth is made of. Let me see if I can show you. So this is the Earth, how it's made. Everything is sitting on these plates, and as these plates come together, mountain ranges are formed. The Cascade Mountain ranges over here, the Rocky Mountains where Yellowstone is right here, the Himalayas, up in here, so all around these areas, that's where you'll get a lot of activity. A lot of earthquakes happen. That's right here. That's how you get the earthquake off of Japan. Earthquakes in California and such. And this is the reason why. When these plates touch and they shift or they overlap each other, that's how you get mountains. That's how you get volcanoes, because these plates touch, and one will shift down and the other one's going over the top, and then the magma from the bottom comes out. Now, what Yellowstone Park is, Yellowstone Park is, I think it's sitting at like 8,000 feet, because like I said, it's in the Rocky Mountains. So it's just a whole big area. It's sitting on top of a mountain, but the whole area is a mountain. So you have, like I said, you have all these different lakes. You have geysers and hot springs, geothermic springs, and all of that. Excuse me. So it's a ticking time bomb, essentially.
It's been quiet for more than 150 years, is now showing signs of unrest. Alaska's Iliamna volcano, last confirmed to erupt in 1867, began shaking on June 15th. Seismic instruments picked up continuous movement for several hours. These weren't surface tremors. They came from within the mountain, deep and sustained. Iliamna has produced similar signals before, often tied to large avalanches triggered by heat and glacial collapse. But this time, the shaking lasted longer and showed greater intensity. Scientists believe pressure is building beneath the surface, with rising heat interacting with unstable layers of ice and fractured rock. NASA satellites had captured imagery of the volcano just days before the tremors began. Iliamna is monitored because of its unstable glacial structure, history of ash releases, and its position near key air traffic routes. Other volcanoes are also becoming active. Mount Rainier has entered a new swarm, with over 300 earthquakes recorded in recent days. In both Japan and Iceland, long quiet systems are starting to move again. We're closely monitoring all of it, and we'll update if anything changes.
Hey, so they said Mount Rainier in Seattle has some tremors. Iceland, Japan. Hey, earthquakes in diverse places, man. This is really picking up right now.
Off this time in Indonesia. What were the signs that were supposed to come from beneath the earth? Blood, vapor, fire, and smoke. Y'all really can't think that all these volcanoes are just random, right? Japan, Rome, everywhere, like literally everywhere there's giant volcanoes going off. At the top you see Japan, and you see Rome, and again Indonesia, and I mean, look at this. It's literally word for word the Bible verse. Just like Pompeii was destroyed in the 1st century, just like the sun went dark for 18 months, what they claimed was 536 AD, I believe that volcanoes are only there for a sign of God's judgment. You know what? I wonder if the sun went dark the same time as Pompeii. And in the same exact verse, also wonders in the heaven above this conscious truth. And here's a guy, a figure walking on the clouds. And by the way, this
yeah, he be putting a lot of extras on it. We don't need all that mayo, brother. There's a mile wide underwater volcano is ready to erupt off the west coast. So you can see that the gas is coming out of there. Like I said, this is Yellowstone is part of it, but I probably even change the name. But just all around the world. It's a lot of activity going on.
Kilauea volcano is putting on quite a show again. This latest eruption sent lava shooting 1,000 feet into the sky. The crater that's erupting is in a closed-off section of Hawaii's Volcanoes National Park. Kilauea is one of the most active volcanoes on Earth. In Hawaii, the Kilauea volcano is putting on quite a show again. This latest.
All right, so we'll get this last scripture and we'll end it on this. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9. And verse 3 says, therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and upwards of the people in the world, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So it's a sign at the time, man, a sign that we're at the end. Lord's word is edifying. Stay on your grind, keep pushing. Don't give up. We almost out of here. We're almost out of here. And Lord's word is edifying, and I give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, B'Hashem, Yahushai, B'Hashem, Rakar Kadash, giving double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS, whom taught me this truth. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in both truth and sincerity, and all the men and women who follow. Shalom.